Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back on a Sunday Saints Block Party podcast live show. We have our dude, the one, the only London on the track, joining us for this Saints Block Party podcast YouTube live show. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, follow the channel. We already got jams on, but that might get demonetized because of licensing. We just out here vibing right now. Shout out
Yeah.
to the chat, Mark, Nat, Mitch, Brock, Tony.
What?
Let's go,
So
family.
watching us do this thing, our community is really special, man. We, kind of being that I do for a living, sometimes I get perks time to time working for where I work, and was able to get me, London, Miguel, Julio, Kevin, Miguel's fiance into a Lakers Warriors game yesterday, and
That's
we
what's
went
up.
to LA Live, had some bomb ass soul food before the game.
Well,
It's
them yams
just,
are underrated.
bruh, yams. I mean,
Underrated.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Oh,
yams.
Underrated.
y'all got to bring me through when I'm in LA, bro.
Oh, bet. Like
Easy.
it is
Easy.
by far it's the best soul food place I've had that I've had since I've lived here in almost 15 years. Um, but Dante, what's good? Anyway,
What up, Tate?
what it is almost a month ish away from the draft, like a month and a couple of days. Justin Fields got traded yesterday. A lot of stuff's happened, but I wanna go to what London was talking about yesterday. And I know that he didn't bring this point up. He brought this point up from listening to other football podcasts because there's a lot of debate right now going about quarterbacks, drafting quarterbacks,
Oh,
not drafting quarterbacks. It's a fascinating discussion. Do you draft them high? Do you wait? In London was throwing out some numbers about Trevor Lawrence when we were waiting to get inside Staples yesterday that just blew my mind. Because come on,
Sure.
let's talk about
Okay, so I was listening to Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah. They had one of the boys from PFF Loft, and they're breaking things down. And
mm.
they started out the podcast talking about the way that we treat QBs now versus the way that we treated them in yesteryear. And that made me think about the conversation we had in the Discord. The greats of yesteryear, the Rivers, the Roethlisbergers, Breeze, all them boys versus the dudes that we're talking about now. And the big point that they made, and it's one that I've always held on to, is these guys had time to start and work through their issues, or
Yes.
they were bent, they sat. All right, so I got a list of people. Carson Palmer, they're all on my phone, but unfortunately I had to do the bent thing through the phone, so I don't have the most access. Carson Palmer sat for a full year. Rivers sat for I want to say 2.5, if not.
no.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
No,
was
it's
it two and a
solid. It
half
was
or
two.
just,
It's two. It's two. It's two. It's two. Sorry, it's two. Two
damn.
solid. Okay.
Yeah, because he was the
Then
old full draft. Yeah.
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 Oh shit. Yeah,
So
that's right.
so he sat behind Breeze for 2 years. Breeze got to sit for 2.5 years. That's the one. Barely any stars, really low numbers first few years. And then the guys that got thrown into the mix early, you got Roethlisberger, super loaded roster around him. They let him take his lumps, and if you look at his stats, he doesn't make the jump until the magic number in the NFL, which is I want to say 38 starts.
Mm.
Yeah.
So where things get interesting,
His stats early were terrible. Awful
Awful, bro.
stats early.
hot
The the
pockets of ass juice.
the definition of a game manager.
Absolutely. So what they were addressing is how things have changed. All of these QBs that were just traded, uh, again, all in my phone. I want to
Fields,
say,
Kenny Pickett.
mhm,
Um, I'm forgetting on who's else been traded.
Mac
It's been a lot.
Jones.
Matt
Mac.
Jones.
There you go. All right. So I got. Give me a second to find these screenshots. I was planning to do all this via the iPad, but it's giving me way more difficulties than I want to deal with.
We live, baby. It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah, live podcasting, right?
Man.
Let me grab this game. I'm trying to be slick with it, but I'm gonna do it this way because I have all these screenshots saved up. There's no way I'm gonna not use them. These are the defensive players. All right, so pick 25 games for Kenny Pickett.
Hmm.
Dude looking like ass regardless, but
25, right?
25.
we have 18 for Sam Howell, also just traded. Mac Jones at 42. Sorry, my mistake. Mac Jones 42. Kenny Pickett 25. 18 for Howell. All right, so then we're gonna jump over. This is Breeze. Okay, so Breeze had 4 seasons before we see the really, really big jump in his production. None of these quarterbacks that we're discussing right now are on their 4th season. Trevor Lawrence, being the anomaly, he's had a bunch of years, but he hasn't had a bunch of starts. He's under 40 starts in the NFL thus far.
Wow.
Right. That was the one that blew me away.
So if it takes 3 years to judge a draft class properly, why is it that we're judging quarterbacks, the most important position within the NFL, against that curve? 3 years is 51 games now. None of these dudes are anywhere near 51 games started, yet we're making proclamations about who they are already in the NFL. And I feel like if we could revert to the way that things were, granted, a lot of teams aren't affording the GMs and coaches the patience they were in the past. But we're doing a great disservice to these guys. We're looking at dudes like Baker, who's breaking through now. I bet you he just crossed that like 50, 60 star range.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder, a lot of these dudes that we're throwing in the discard pile real quick, are we doing them a great disservice? So I'm thinking now of the QBs that have been moved, someone like Fields is in an amazing position because not only is he with a stable organization, he gets to sit behind. Oh, what's up, Katie? Hey,
every time, bro. As soon as we start recording,
on TV, baby.
It's my time, shorty. My time now.
It's a great point though, bro. Because I mean, you can look at Geno Smith. He
absolutely.
I don't know how many games he started with the Jets, but maybe 2 seasons at most, and out of there. It's a great point, bro. Like, why is that happening though? I mean, is it because the rookie wage, wage scale where back in the day they was getting what 30, 40, 50 million guaranteed. You was gonna wait. You was gonna wait and see if it worked out. You invest that type of money where now you have a lot of, $25, $28 million. It's like, well, we just gonna move on.
So that right there is something they talk about in the episode. So the rookie wage scale, I think they were measuring before and the year that it was instituted with the new CBA. That first year, 4 QBs go in round 1. Because people are now just like, well, if I don't got to pay you the bag, I can just take these shots.
Right. I also think that more teams are cutting loose of quarterbacks sooner. Because it was a time in the NFL, man, where it don't matter. Like, it don't matter how bad the quarterback was for years, bro. Like, if they drafted him in the first round, like, that quarterback got starts. EJ Manuel, Christian Ponder, like, they just held on.
Ponder played for a while, bro. Like, this is
what I'm saying. I thought he had it. I thought he could have been something. Nothing. He had me fooled for a second.
Our dude Adam in the chat goes, the difference amount of college starts, especially in the SEC, Big 10, Big 12, or ACC. How much of the difference do y'all think that makes along with that?
Ooh, I'm glad you brought that up because they also touched on that. They hit on the numbers of the guys that are coming out this year. So highest among them is Bo Nix at 61 collegiate starts. JD at 50 forever. JD though at 55. Not a lot of people realize that he got as many games under his belt. Jaden Daniels. Yeah, Jaden Daniels. 55 starts. People discount a lot of Arizona stuff, but he made a huge jump from Arizona State to LSU. And I feel like he's someone who keep progressing. Then you got the guys that are bunched. You got Penix at 47. And then the guys that are bunched together is JJ and Drake May. JJ at 29, May between 26 or 28. I couldn't really tell how many he started his freshman year, just because the website that I was on wasn't as clear. But it's clear he got some passes off. And they say like the golden number for these QBs is 30, 31. That's what you're looking for. For the guys that are able to draft and develop. The superstars of our current generation were at 28. So that's Mahomes and Allen. But so the odds, do you bet against history and then try to draft Mahomes and Allen with under 28 starts or at the 28 starts marker, or are you looking for dudes with more starts? I didn't even check Caleb because Caleb's not even up for debate. We know he's going 1. There's no point in discussing.
Right. Such a fascinating thing, man.
Very fascinating. You can't really come up with with the hey, this is right, this is wrong,
Right.
black and white answer.
Absolutely.
But it just goes to show, one, NFL teams aren't as patient because I do wonder if there's a lot of talent that they're leaving on the plate. I keep going back to Trey Lance, and I
Oh
have
yeah.
no idea what it'd be. But the dude has 9 starts in the NFL. I don't know how many starts he had in college, but it wasn't many.
Ooh,
It was
it's not many. I actually had a point about this.
So I just wonder, like people like him who just untap and probably,
We're not
unless
gonna
he
see
gets
him.
thrown, we're just not gonna
Right.
see him unless he goes to a team that's like
Or
starving.
let's that got that nasty man gene. Who
Oh
knows?
yeah,
He a bad
I
boy.
mean,
He like to be out there in them streets.
but we know he got like crazy athleticism. He's big,
Mhm.
strong, fast, all that stuff. I would just love, like, I would be trying, like, if I'm the Saints or any team, I'd be trying to tap into some of that untapped potential. But the problem you run into is how do you get these guys time on task? I talked about on the last
Absolutely.
podcast, like, you get into training camp, you only have a certain amount of padded practices. You got preseason, we're down to 3 preseason games. Teams aren't even playing real players, they're not scheming. You want to get your, like, penciled in starter most of the snaps because they have to learn the offense. So it's like, how do you even get work?
Like
You know what I'm saying?
they try to. I don't want to not make mention and throw away like what joint practices mean because they mean something, but I feel like it's gotten to the other side where joint practices have taken over like gospel, right? Perfect
Mm-hmm.
example. The Saints looked great in joint practices against the Chargers. It looked
Right.
great. Now,
Yep.
both the Chargers and the Saints are coached by idiots, but I digress. And you kind of saw that, like all the things that Derek Carr had, like great 2-3 day stretch against the Chargers, in joint practice, whatever. It didn't mean anything. It
Yeah.
didn't mean
At
anything.
all.
But Derek Carr's a 10-year vet. When you have younger quarterbacks, that JJ stat is wild to me, bro. He is a
Yeah.
complete freaking projection.
All
Just a
projection, bro.
complete projection, man. That is
That's
wild.
that's my dog. That's my dog. And
Nah,
we
man.
can talk about that here in a second. We'll talk about it here in a second.
Mitch said 37 starts for Caleb.
Okay,
Or
boom.
Mitch says
He's-
37, Adam says 33, so it's in the 30 range.
I mean, he's clear past the number that you're looking for,
Clear.
so that's already
Clear.
good.
Yeah.
Check all
And
the
like
boxes.
he's just somebody you can see it.
You can
There's
see
no
it, bro.
squinting involved. It's all over
No,
the screen.
no, bro. No squinting, bro. Just what?
Yeah,
Oh, yep, I see it. Yep.
100%. You don't even need to go through like more than a game or two of it and be like, yeah,
Nope.
like now move on. We're on to the next guy.
Nope.
Um,
You have been a huge component of this. I feel like this version of London is who Ryan and I used to be years back when we had time to dive into the prospects, had time to dive into the tape, and you become, the young young apprentice, as you say.
big boy, baby.
You were all over A.T. Perry. You just have a very keen eye on things that
Hey, real.
team camaraderie things, like the whole Lou and wasn't dapping up like Lou wasn't dapping up what's his fuck face? Gilligan.
There's beef there, baby.
You called it. You called it like back in the
There was
preseason.
beef there.
Randy Major said, "Did y'all see the jersey swap between the Magic and Raptors players?" Yes. Black dick. All for it.
Missed the whole thing. I
so-
have no idea.
So the Raptors drafted a player named Grady Dick, right, in the NBA draft, and then the Magic drafted a player named Anthony Black, maybe something Black, and they did a jersey swap on the
Let's
end
go.
purposely, and they was holding them
Let's
bitches,
go.
and it said Black Dick. And the
No.
Magic Twitter account like literally tweeted it out in like class of 2023, and then it got deleted. Like. I wish they would have played in February because we could have been like during Black History Month. But
Yeah, baby. Let the world know.
anyhow, you have been on this Trevor Penning at guard train for such a while.
Boy.
You brought up this great point yesterday when we were talking about Peter. Was it
Peter Skoronski.
who was drafted? Like, me and Ryan just feel like there has to be a place for him somewhere, right? Like
Somewhere. Absolutely. He's a mauler. And every team is a spot for a mauler. It's just, can you find the space for him? I do agree with what you guys said in the last, I think it was the last pod or 2 pods ago. They coached him up too hard and they got him inside his head. They took what made him away from him. I really hope in this new scheme, which favors being able to get out and get after people, really, really works for him. I do feel so. Peter Sperance, better prospect, graded across the board better, but very similar in the way that they play the game. Immediately, smart franchise kicks him inside to mitigate his flaws, let him learn on the job, get some reps, and if we need to move him to tackle later, we can move him to tackle later.
He was drafted by the Titans in round 2, if I'm tripping, correct?
Yeah, Titans. I'm not sure where he went.
Yeah, I want to say round 2, maybe.
So all around better prospect.
Yeah.
Immediately get shifted to guard. I feel like with the mentality that he plays with, and what we need on the inside, he's perfect for it. Because we already have our finesse guard on the other side in Cesar Ruiz. Say what you want about him, but he's a finesse boy.
He's a finesse boy.
He should crush. Him and McCoy should eat in this new system. Bro, like all the stretch blockings, getting people on the move, this should be destructive for them. I feel like having a mauler on the other side to protect your either new left tackle, or we'll see if we do re-sign Pete, see what happens. I had wrote somebody's name down that I was hoping we would target as a tackle.
In the draft or in free agency?
He's available right now. Give me 1 second. He's got like a crazy African name, so there's no way I'm pulling this out of my hair.
Oh.
Not Najee something or other, but I don't want to do him no disrespect.
No idea. It just goes to show. I'm just the team kind of came out. I still go back to the team came out in free agency and kind of told you what they see. They saw initially what their must are. It was linebacker, edge,
100%,
and nickel. And they have, it's early and it's a month-ish away from the draft, but the only position of that that's been they signed Cedric Wilson, which is a nice little flyer on a nice little flyer deal. But they've kind of shown you where they feel their needs are and their must are, and it strikes me as a thing where if they don't address those in free agency, that it's 100% going to become a needs-based draft, which doesn't bode anyone well.
That does not look good at all. Trent Brown. Trent Brown's available, and he'd be a nice dude to take a flyer on. Yes, he's hurt all the time, but when he is available, he's fucking elite, bro. And that's what you want. Like players get hurt, right? When you're taking one of your flyers on guys, you want guys that can come in and give you really good snaps until they're not there, because you didn't have them already. Just don't build your whole team around them. So I feel like whatever tackle we bring in to be like a quick swing guy, he's just got to be that. You let him go in there, get his snaps, but do not build your offense around this guy being a long-term starter. We did it with Teron.
Yep.
Like we knew Teron when he's there, he's elite, and you deal with the fact that he's not going to be there, and you just got to make sure you have someone who can give you quality snaps behind him.
Plan B. Shout out to Mitch, letting me know that Skoronski was the 11th pick in the 2023 draft.
There we go.
Mitch on that Google, boy.
Hey, I appreciate it. Yo, time. He not Time Lord today. He's on it, baby.
I'm on time.
I'm on it today, boy. I'm on time
today.
Man, what? I mean, are they gonna bring back Pete? Because Pete, I just checked. He ain't got a visit schedule. He ain't got nothing scheduled with nobody, bro.
Like, man, that's wild.
That contract should be kind of friendly right now if they want to bring it back.
Super friendly. I don't know. And it's one of those things where, I was thinking that maybe would the Chiefs go after him, because they have a hole right now at left tackle because Donovan.
And they were interested in before.
That's what I'm saying.
I remember this.
They were. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing. It's a weird thing where I felt like maybe his market would have been more. Maybe he probably felt his market would have been more too.
I'm sure he did.
And it hasn't been that. And that could work out to the Saints' benefit. But also, I think a question that we really haven't asked is, do the Saints want him back? Like, are they about? It all goes back to kind of what gets them in trouble, their ability to sometimes scout and not scout. Is that are they scouting him? Are they looking at Pete the same way he played this season at left tackle as us, generally as fans, evaluated Pete? And that might be a resounding yes, or it could be a no. But I don't think it's hard to say right now.
And Dennis coming off a year, they asked him to take a pay cut.
Mm-hmm.
He took the pay cut, took the demotion, and then came in and saved their ass.
Saved it, bro.
So,
Like a lifeguard.
100%.
I just wonder if the relationship is kind of weird because you got to go back to him like, hey, I know we,
Hey, big head.
You wasn't my first choice. You definitely still call back saying, but hey.
I don't know, got that Reds and Canes, baby.
Adam says, is that offensive lineman we drafted out of Old Dominion last year even a factor to be a quality backup or alive? So we haven't seen. Yeah, bro. Only thing I saw that man was posting that he got a Invisalign a couple of days ago, bro, on Instagram, bro. That's all I know about.
We don't care.
Just our dude Randy Major goes, do y'all think we should go best player available at pick 14? Absolutely. Most teams in the draft honestly should draft just BPA. And it sounds dumb, but you have a stronger chance of building a stronger team of doing it that way than try. Like I keep going back to the Ravens as such a perfect example of a team that typically just drafts BPA. They go BPA. The Bengals, as much as Mike Brown gets a lot of like heat for, the Bengals used to be like the draft nicks of the draft, bro. Like whoever the draft nick drafted, bro. It started with Tyler Eifert. It just so and to those points, like the Bengals got luck when they got Joe Burrow, but the Ravens have been stellar for how long? Because they've just had insane draft class.
Decades of drafting. Well, one of the things that I feel like separates the Ravens specifically is they have long-term vision, especially because they had Ozzie for such a long time. And they transitioned to the. Is it Ziggy or is that That's somebody else.
No.
Whatever the new homeboy's name. He spent a long time under. He spent a long time under Ozzie. Got to learn the way, so he's got long-term vision as well. And they're always drafted. They get a lot of credit for drafting and developing guys. A lot of these dudes are sitting or getting minimal snaps for 2 years, and all of a sudden they show up and they're studs.
Thank you. A perfect example. Like I can almost guarantee that Trenton Simpson next season, he
gonna blow up, bro.
Patrick Queen left. He's gonna look great as a Raven, bro.
They was not about to pay some Patrick Queen. Wasn't going to
happen. Mark, yes, thank you, Mark. Eric DaCosta is the
DaCosta,
yeah.
There you go. Thank you. So another prime example of a dude from Baltimore. They drafted John Simpson. Okay, he just signed a big deal with the Jets to be their new starting guard. Dude was developing under him, steady. Nobody heard of him. As soon as he gets on the field, he takes off, giving you really quality snaps, and now he got a big money deal. It's clear that the process of giving these dudes snaps behind steady veterans, if you got steady veterans to coach them up, makes a big difference.
And the Saints used to do that on the offensive line.
100%.
Remember Bushrod came in with Brown got hurt.
Yep.
Get it in 2009. Streif. Streif came in for Stitchcomb. Streif got hurt. Then we had Ramchick. It was like they were building, bro. So
they were thinking ahead. They were thinking,
right.
And that's why, as much as it wouldn't be sexy, as much as I wouldn't want it at draft night, like I would completely understand the logic behind drafting like a tackle at 14. I would get it. It wouldn't excite me, but I would understand it.
Bro. Especially after this free agency, like it's already a board free agency.
Right. Then you gonna get us
slow. Okay. So if we wanted to remedy that and not get into the tackles in the first round, there are two dudes that I would like. I'm gonna hit you with a pair of Joshes. Josh Jones, he was already talked about via random Saint Suite. Great pass blocker. Only thing he can really do right now. Maybe because he's a super athlete, being in that stretch scheme could be beneficial to him.
Help him.
And the other one is Josh Nijeman. He was a swing tackle for the Packers.
Yes.
Gave them quality starts. When Bakhtiari comes back, naturally goes back to the bench. But he can play 3 positions on the offensive line. I think he'd be a great dude just to have because we need that.
Depth, man.
We need that.
It's weird.
It's clear
because it feels like they should have depth on the O-line with Salaverde, Landon Young, and it's not there. Like it's just non-existent. They had some like NFL corpse. Max Garcia was starting games last year. So like, we got Max Garcia. Why, bro? Why?
Irving.
There's no need for that.
The Chocobo Chasers drafting replacements in the final year of fringe guys' contracts is great GM work. Just
brilliant.
Perfection, bro. We should have been prepping for Bond, Ram, Cam, even though we tried that on the last. I mean, they've been trying to replace Cam for multiple
forever, bro.
Davenport, Turner, Bosky.
Even Cam, like, please take my job. Please.
Can I be a part-time player?
Yeah, bro, I'm ready to hand the sword off.
Hey. So to the draft, bro, because man, Lane to be hitting me up in the text, dropping names. I'd be like, bro, who is this, bro? Like me, like the way I approach it now, I watch like I take about a list of about 100 players, like the top 100 or whatever. Pick a few spots I want to look at, and that's it. Lane to be sending me people from I don't know what 5th round, 6th round players, and
I'm
all that
addicted,
shit.
bro.
I love it. I used to be like that, bro.
Yep.
I used to be just like that.
Yep.
But now I just ain't got the time no more, man. So give me some. The Saints got like 4 5th round picks, bro. Like, what can they do? For now. Let's just say they say we're gonna keep all our picks and we bringing in 9 draft picks. What's some late round players or potential late round? You remember A.T. Perry? People thought he would go high in like 3rd round.
Yeah.
Who's some players like that for whatever reason end up in the 5th round that you think we could pick?
So probably my favorite one. I don't believe he ends up in the 5th round, but I do think he's going to fall. The NFL is telling you a lot about how they feel about this running back class with the money they're spending in free agency.
Yeah.
They just don't feel like they're starters out here. Whereas you could get Tajay Spears in the 3rd and give you fucking incredible snaps. I don't know that you're going to get a lot of that. My guy is Braden Allen. I made it quite clear. I love that big mofo. 6'2", 245. Smartly didn't run the 40 because he doesn't want them to ding him. The dude's game speed is good enough, but his feet are incredible. Nobody that big should have feet like that in the pocket. Or like when he's in the phone booth, his feet keep moving and they're moving in a way that reminds you. I'm trying to think. Very eminent, not AK, because very few people are like AK. He gives me like Big J Stu vibes. Oregon.
Okay.
Ended up a Panther. Had
Yep.
a bunch of years when he was alongside Williams. I get that kind of a vibe from him. I could see him fall into the 4th. And he'd be a guy, much like Perry. If you're going to go up and move to get somebody, go get that guy.
Right.
Isaac Guerrero, another running back, Louisville, I believe. He's going to be there late. Dude is crazy fast, and he's perfect for the scheme that we're about to deploy. The more space you can get this guy, the more deadly he's going to be. And I think that we just need juice. We haven't had a juicy running back in a long time. We got Kendre. He's a plotter. AK has like juicy moments. But when's the last time he ran for 70? Like took a 70-yard one touch. It's been a minute.
Yeah, man.
You say that Breland Allen is the one you say you like? Wisconsin?
Yeah, Braylon Allen, big boy.
Okay. What about what guy needs speedy? Like they don't even have to have a lot of production, but just somebody like you say, juicy, bro. Somebody that could.
So that's Guerrero, bro. He's a track star.
Yeah.
He is one cut gone. If he gets a good edge, you don't have him up in the middle of the field, you're in trouble.
Right.
I don't know if you guys have talked about Corley, the Yak King. He's a wide receiver. I have no idea where he's going to go, especially with this wide receiver class. I feel like 2nd and 3rd round, there's going to be a crazy run on wide receivers.
The wide receivers in this class it's just absurd, bro. It's
unreal, my boys.
Lob 32 CD goes, do y'all think Gail locked her bank account after all the spending and failure to make the playoffs in 3 years? That's a good question, man.
That's my theory. And I'm sticking with it.
Ryan been on it, bro. He just said the whole figure it out.
Figure it out. Make it enough.
I done gave y'all the ingredients. Figure this shit out.
Now it's time for y'all to cook. Either it's time for y'all to cook or we're gonna get some new chefs.
Because my thing is like from DA's standpoint, I'm sure he wants to be aggressive and he's trying to save his job. You know what I'm saying?
I want to win. Can we spin? Can we spin a little bit?
Give me the bread.
And Loomis, I'm sure Loomis like is probably indifferent to it. He don't.
Bro, Loomis good either way, bro. He don't get too
either way. Whatever, you know.
Have we heard how we? This is so typical Saints. Have there been a single update on the Maddox visit, on the Chase Young visit, bro? Just
not a thing.
Not a thing.
Radio silence from Airline Drive. Y'all love to talk.
The Chase Young got rescheduled, right? Well, no, it got canceled.
Postpone, reschedule, something along those lines.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
going
It's been quiet. It's been quiet. I don't know.
Ugly.
Scott Reeves says, "What about some defensive late draft picks?" I'll let London look some up.
I don't know about. So I don't know about no late ones, but I got Adam. I got one after you. So do your thing. I got his name down. It's been down.
I was just gonna ask. Now that the Michael Thomas release has been official, and maybe I've missed it because I am on social media sporadically. I don't. Was there like a thank you Michael Thomas post? Was there like a video? Was there something, bro? Yo,
I don't think so.
Nothing.
I don't think so.
What is going the fuck on? How do you not
Crazy.
we love Repo, and I know it's probably not a Repo thing because I know Repo would have killed that shit.
No.
How do you not have a Michael Thomas appreciation post in the drafts? In the drafts, ready to go. Oh my God. The disrespect. That blows my mind. I thought maybe I missed it.
7 years, bro. 7 years, breaking records, offensive player of the year.
Sacrificing your body.
That is wild, bro. Like,
years
think about
off
that.
his career for us.
Think about
years off his career for the fans, for the team.
They couldn't do an Instagram story. Like, that is, man, that's bad. That's bad business, man.
Bro.
I don't try to bring it down, but shit like that is like, just as a fan, man, that is infuriating. Like, how do you have a thank you post for Michael Thomas? And I know what's gonna happen. I can guarantee you what's gonna happen. We're gonna post this fucking clip tomorrow, and magically, all of a sudden, on Wednesday or Thursday, there's gonna be a thank you social media post. I can guarantee you.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like what they're gonna do is they're gonna wait till he signs somewhere else, so they can be like, there was still a chance. We didn't want to say goodbye until he was gone. Bullshit. He's been gone.
He's off the team. He's a free agent, and you know he's not coming.
He's not coming back. He's not coming back.
And for that to happen, that a directive has to come down. You know what I'm saying? Like that directive has to come down from the top. Like,
that's a fact.
None of that.
Ooh, man. I got upset thinking about it. Oh, it is your birthday. Office style,
Happy
bro.
birthday. Can't go on, Mike.
It's his birthday?
It was a couple
like 2 weeks ago.
So. Yeah. The disrespect.
Man, that's crazy.
Okay, so some of the later round guys that I've heard / seen some good things on, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know how to break down cornerback tape because I don't know the assignments. I don't know how to break it down yet. I'm gonna learn. So like secondary stuff, it's only who I'm hearing a lot about. One of the ways that I like to approach the draft season, that I do trust PFF, just not like all their numbers. I like to go to what they were saying before the season and cross-reference it with what's going on now, because they put out all kinds of shit before the draft season. I mean, before the college season starts. That's how I found ATP. They were talking about him like, could this guy be the next wide receiver overall 1 coming out? And then he just didn't make the jump. But if he was somebody that had that kind of potential before the season, you draft that kind of potential.
I got you. Yeah.
Josh Newton, TCU. He's a cornerback. Only issue, the real knock on him is he's really light, 190 pounds at 5'11". Not the fastest, but he's a gamer. TJ Tampa, G's boy. That dude built for zone coverage. 6'1", 195, just under like 4.5 speed. So he's not a burner, but he's somebody who can give you quality slots and snaps in the slot. My dog, the guy I wanted to talk about, Adiza Eilish, Chop Robinson's running mate at Penn State. Where's number 20? Not getting anywhere near the same publicity as Chop. I don't think he's the same level of prospect, but he's a technician. Crazy motor. He reminds me a lot of Trick or Trey. Not in the way that their games are predicated. Trey early on won with hustle. Yes, he had like a plan, but his plan didn't always work because he wasn't strong enough. He wasn't fast enough yet. Spend some time in the pros and the dude turned into a dog. I tell y'all, watch some Adiza tape or just go put on like Chop Robinson tape, and I promise you'll see Adiza.
Interesting.
I don't know where he's gonna go, but he should be available at 45. I would not be mad at him there. Gives me big He could fill the role that Zach Bond filled when he started pass rushing and very
Right.
effectively. He's a little undersized to be playing like full tackle, 6'4", 247, but he's fast. I like
Eric
him
Bean
a
said
lot.
a slap to the face to Michael Thomas.
The
Absolutely.
ultimate disrespect.
Absolutely.
And because they're doing him dirty
I
like
haven't
this,
watched a ton of. Go ahead.
I was say because they're doing Mike T dirty like this. I hope he signs somewhere and we're on his schedule.
Oh, bro.
And he can just abuse the world and stare his ass down.
There's
I
a
want you
fake
to
post going around where he signs to the Falcons.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
I
my
mean,
father-in-law called me yesterday. That motherfucker signed to the Falcons. Like, no, man, it's fake.
nah, he ain't doing it like that. Nah.
Man, they offer him a couple of, like, more meal than probably what his market is. And he could go be with Kirk. Like, I'm not putting it out there that it should happen, but also
Please don't let it happen.
he can't stand DA. He can't stand how terms
come
ended.
on, man.
So to face the Saints twice a year, shit.
And then Terry over there, hey,
They're building something in Atlanta, bro. Something to be very wary of.
I like what they're at, just as a team building standpoint. I do like what they've done.
Yeah.
It all hinges obviously it all hinges on Kurt, right? Like,
Yeah.
even coming back from the injury, and then even if Kurt comes back from the injury, like, how many seasons do Kurt really have?
Yeah.
2?
Well, what I do feel like Atlanta's done though is they bought themselves some time because you have a steady vet, someone who's been around the league, he's played in a bunch of different systems. If you bring in a young QB in the next 2 years, Kirk's on what, a 3-year deal, 4-year deal?
4.
That's 2-3 years. So there you go.
Is it
So
3? Yeah,
even
4.
so even if you don't bring him in this year, let's say you go get Aller or Shador or somebody like that next year, that's somebody you can sit behind
Yep.
a vet with years and you can replicate the system that we were talking about earlier in the episode.
Yep. Full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Full circle.
And they got Zach Robinson, who the Saints would have wanted really bad at OC.
Had
it's
no
gonna be
chance.
interesting it's gonna be interesting to see his offense, man, because
man.
He got weapons.
If it was anything like it was at that Rams game we were at, bro, I don't want no parts of that right here.
Ugly.
Ooh.
It's gonna be ugly
Vicious.
out in the streets, bro. Ugly in the streets.
This is something that caught my eye after the Willie Gay signing, and he did his first interview. He was talking about like him and DeMario and when Warner is going to be off, like them being on the field all at the same time. I'm like, in what world and what defense do you see 3 linebackers on the field in 2024 NFL, bro? Like, it does not.
Nickel is the base D.
It rarely happens unless it's like a rundown or something like that, man. It just rarely happens, and I think the signing of Willie Gay Jr. is just like a complete message to like Pete Warner. You're on notice. You are on notice.
So I would like to think
it's good.
Yes,
I personally would like to look at Willie Gay more along the lines of like the potential replacement for DeMario. I don't necessarily feel like you have to 100% give up on Pete. Yeah, he had a down year. Maybe he bounces back. Maybe he doesn't. If he doesn't, you already have insurance with Willie Gay.
Right.
So you're not forced to give Pete the snaps if he can't earn them. But with DeMario later long into, we could see him start to slow down at any moment or sustain an injury. And if it was just Pete, we in deep shit.
Yeah.
But having
big time.
Yeah. Having somebody who's like a multiple-time Super Bowl champ that understands the winning culture and ain't going to take no bullshit from some of these young linebackers should they bring it in, I think it's a great sign.
Yeah. What injury did Nephi Sewell have last year? What kind of injury was that?
It was a bad one. I can't remember.
Bad one.
Yeah, he's going to be down.
He was looking good though, man. Like he was really looking good.
I wish I.
Let me see if I can look it up.
While we fill in space, I got a couple free agents that I would like us to take a look at that I feel could provide solid depth. Emmanuel Ogbah. Okay, so I got some stats for you.
Former draft bay of mine.
Okay, so before the scheme change, in Miami, I believe he was there 4 years. 2020, 9 sacks, 21 QB hits. 2021, 9 sacks, 24 QB hits.
He was
Position
good, man.
switch. He does sustain an injury in 22 too. Played 9 games, got 3 starts. He had 1 sack, 7 QB hits. And then last year, they had him playing nose tackle, which is freaking insane.
That's weird.
15 games, 1 start, 5 sacks out the nose tackle position, playing out of position, 9 QB hits. I feel like he's a guy that if you could put him back out at like the traditional end position, he got juice left. He's not done.
He would be. Remember when they signed Tano?
Okafor.
Right?
I was gonna. My brain goes to Okafor.
Okafor. That's
like just production.
He would be like one of those, and I've had like a draft crush on Agba for a while, man. What draft was that? I can't remember what draft it was.
That's
like it was, but I was like wanting them to draft Agba in the first round. Like I loved Emmanuel Agba, and so he kind of blew up. He started blowing up in Miami, and then I think that would be like a very low risk, potentially high reward signing. Because here's the thing, man. They need any and every person that even can spell the word pass rusher, bro. Yeah. Pass rush, can you spell it? Can you spell it? All right.
Get on the damn field. We need
get on the team. Because Foskey can't spell it. Peyton Turner, an ISS, he ain't even paying attention to school right now, bro.
Okay, so them two boys. Something I wanted to talk about. Meant to make mention of in Discord, but I'm always high, so I don't always get around to it. One of the things that I think might be an issue with these two guys is the guy that you have coaching them up which is Cam Jordan, has a very specific game that works completely unto him. There's not a lot of Cams. We don't see him come in like dudes that play the game his way. So if he's giving you all these tips, techniques, I want you do it like this. If you're the only one who can win that way because you're that great, you're teaching these dudes a bunch of tools that they can't apply. And I do wonder if that's some of what's going on. Do we need someone more like a Greener or someone along those lines who could show them different ways to win?
I guess my counterpoint to that is like Big Creep don't win in any way that Cam wins. Like he wins completely different. But
Big Creep was like a highly regarded prospect. He just had the creep shit going on. So he was a dude they were talking about coming,
little touchy.
First, second round during his draft. Had the talent, had the skills. He just Big Creep.
I think a lot of it still goes to the point that Ryan has been making for years, and just the prototypes that the Saints have like identified and it's been their prototype. And I got into like a little Twitter discussion about it with just Jared Verse. It's just like if you just copy and paste the Saints prototype, it's like Davenport, Turner, like Verse, they're all like the same cut from the same cloth. This is not me saying Jared Verse is going to be a bust. I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm just saying that I have seen that movie too many times. Too many times.
As soon as I saw that Verse tape, I was like,
I'm out.
This is a saint right here.
Bro, Ryan, don't do it to me. Don't.
See, but I can tell you right now that Sean be beating his shit in the dark watching fucking Verse tape. That's his dog. That's his type of guy. Nothing would rock up Sean quite like that boy. Brick to the max.
Go get him, Sean. Go save us.
Yeah, please.
Save us.
Take him at
Sean,
12,
please.
Another free agent name that I'd love to slide through is Deer Tart. He's a DT. He was with Tennessee for a minute. He got released for some random reason. Went and signed with Houston, gave him quality snaps. He's a guy like his stats are not going to be impressive because he's a true nose tackle, but the dude eats double teams and can make plays in the passing game. He pushes the pocket. That's a guy that I would recommend. Just go cut on his tape real quick and tell me you don't see a guy who could really impact along our line. He's not going to be worth a whole lot. I go fucking get him.
I could see those, man. I would say I went back and I was looking at last year's free agency when we signed some of the players we did. And a lot of them did happen like the second, third, fourth week after free agency started.
Yeah.
So, there's some patience. Just got to be patient. There will probably be some moves that happen. It's just, man, it was just so quiet that first week, bro. Like, nothing.
It was ugly.
Nate Peterman and
what? Don't get me started on the Peterman thing, bro. Don't do it, bro.
Carl Lawson, another brother that's also available, suffered at the hands of a
is he
of a steam chain. Yeah, He was a victim of scheme change, and then you had some younger John Franklin Myers broke out. Who was the other? Jermaine Johnson was getting quality snaps.
Bro, can we go back to just rewind the clock a little bit, going back to that draft, the Jermaine Johnson draft? Was that the draft they had 2 first-round picks? I want to say it was, right? Yeah, it was, I believe. Maybe not.
Yeah.
It was, right?
Yeah.
I remember Ryan and I doing like a draft simulator, and Jermaine Johnson fell, and we were just like ran to the podium, just boom,
smack that shit.
The fact that he even fell more in the actual draft, and like it's funny because we're talking about Verse, and like if you put Verse's tape next to Jermaine Johnson's tape, they look like 2 completely different players.
And Verse is going to go much higher, which is
with Jermaine Johnson. Like you watch him, I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey yo,
okay.
Look at
this
guy. Yeah, hey yo.
Yeah,
100%.
But how do you envision the Saints being this year in London?
Honestly, well, one of the things that I was talking about a lot last year is that Derek Carr is historically bad whenever there's a new scheme implemented, dating back to every time there was a scheme change in the Raiders organization. He usually rebounds the second year, and I think we started to see some of that toward the end of the year. He's a dummy. We're being real. We talked about it. He don't learn quick. It's not his fault. Some of us are just born dumb.
Hey.
Yeah, you made a bunch of money being an idiot, so it is what it is. But I feel like we're in for the first half. We're probably going to see, and everybody's going to be new in the system. So I think we're going to see a lot of in the very beginning. It also depends on how simple, because it's supposed to be a really quarterback friendly scheme. If it really is, and they give him half field reads, bro, you've been in the league 10 years plus. You can do half field reads. So if they scheme up stuff like that, I'm sure he'll be fine.
But then I guess the question is, if they give him half of the reads and that first read is covered.
Yeah, he's in trouble, baby. Tap.
What's crazy is that you just said maybe they give Derek Carr half reads in a new offense, and this man is like an 11-year vet, bro. That's what you do that for, like a rookie quarterback, like a second-year quarterback.
We're living out here with a rookie, bro. We're living out here with a 12-year rookie.
I went. This man just failed school multiple times, bro. Like I just can't get past the senior year, bro. Our dude Rod said, "Will DA survive the first 8 weeks?" I think so, man. I think I think they'll give. Man, it gotta be like what 2-6 or some shit like that for them to.
I still think no. Even if it was 2-6, bro, I would.
Man, if it's 2-6, bro, I'm changing my hashtag to keep DA, bro. Get us the first round pick. Just drive that bitch right into a tree, bro. Just keep driving, D.
Look, I believe Loomis what he says, man. Loomis is gonna stick by this dude, bro, to hell or high water, man. You know, I'm not even 100% sure this gonna be his last season, even if he
don't do this.
I'm just saying if they go 7-10.
Why while I'm here, bro? Why you gotta do
that? 7-10.
Horrible.
7-10. 7-10.
Missed the playoffs 3 straight years. Man,
it would have to be a Gale decision. I don't think Loomis would make that decision, bro. I don't think Loomis would pull a trigger.
Man. I think it would depend on a handful. How does it look?
Always, which is so dumb. That should not factor into the equation at all.
They win them little final 2-3 games, and they'll be like, oh well, you know.
They were coming around.
Got a new scheme, we got a new scheme, and he was learning new schemes.
Excuses are built in already. We lost a bunch of talent in the offseason. We had to reload. There were a bunch of new guys that we brought in that didn't know scheme. So like they already set themselves up to be able to explain away a bunch of the bullshit that we're going to see throughout the course of the season. I think the defense probably takes a step back because we're losing a lot of quality depth and like dudes that were giving us good snaps. The Yadam loss is big.
Oh yeah, they got him
big, man.
Big. And it's Marshawn is. It's not Marshawn's fault, but he happens to sustain these crazy ass injuries every year. Let's say he's still on the team. You're predicated on him, Adebo, Taylor. he goes down again, who's stepping up? Ugo's still out there. Maybe he comes back, but we don't know. You're going to have a new starting safety. There's going to be some confusion there,
Right.
likely, unless it's just Howden sliding over. Yeah, I could see, especially in the front half of the season, I could see things being kind of.
Mark said we got the Billy Madison of quarterbacks in Derek Carr, bro. Just never finished school, bro. Just it's Adam says 5-12 or 6-11. In my opinion, what positive signs have we seen since the end of the year and a tougher schedule? I have no hope. Yeah, man, I went through the schedule like at the end of like during the off season at some point, and I think the most I got up to was like 7 realistically, or like 8 like max. But even those were kind of like it just I don't know, man.
Boo-boo.
It's hard unless they just come out and like it's just a hand in glove. Derek Carr loves the offense. He like it makes sense to him, and he's on the same page. And I do think the offense will look better. Now, how quickly it'll look better from last season, I don't know. I do think the offense will look better. But Ryan is, like you just said, and Ryan's been on it for quite a while. Like the defensive regression just seems like it's inevitable to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We haven't been adding talent the way at the rate that we've been losing it, and that catches up to you eventually.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. That's the key right there. Just haven't been adding the talent, man, and you
Mm-hmm.
you can hold on to that 2017 draft for so long, and
Please
we see
stop
it
doing
it's
that.
just dwindling. It's going away. So, I did
And
like the signing.
they're still producing. They're still
They're still
producing. It's not for us.
But this year against the schedule, potentially, going against the AFC West, going against, potentially a tougher NFC South. We're facing the NFC East.
Are we facing?
Who are we facing?
Oh, I don't want none of that.
I'm trying to figure who are we facing.
I don't
in the
want
NFC?
Oh yeah, I
none
think
of
you're
that.
right. I think it is the East
Well,
because
so-
they play the
boy.
They play the Giants in New York.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Oh yeah, they play the
Eagles,
Cowboys.
Like,
Bro, Washington gonna be cooking, baby. I think
we'll
so.
see. We'll see. So I'm just saying, bro, it's a completely night day schedule. The Saints had last year. I think it was the crime analytics guy. It was like one of the easiest schedules, like in the last 20-something years. Like it was like a ridiculously easy schedule. Just not even easy compared to like last year. Just easy, like NFL history easy. So
And that doesn't even factor in like the breaks they got along the way in that schedule.
they got extra
And
breaks.
we barely survived.
Christian Watson, Christian Watson didn't play. Who the running back? Aaron Jones didn't play against the Packers. Like just did nothing with it, bro. Just did nothing with it. Just fumbled the bag. Literally fumbled.
We caught Jordan Love like when he was kind of like struggling
still.
Still won, bro.
Still won.
Oh. So the thing.
Go ahead.
I'll say so. To think that we're gonna have a new and high flying potentially Atlanta. Carolina's doing the most to secure that line and make things more accessible for Bryce. I don't know if it's gonna work, but
I don't either. I appreciate the effort.
They just trying, bro. They're like, anybody, just come, please, just come here, help me.
Tampa could be better. Like,
could be.
Eric Bean goes, if DA is the defensive guru, why keep him? Part of the family, baby. Part of their little family. London Brawl this week. We're gonna try to wrap it up. We've been going for like an hour. It doesn't feel like that. You started the podcast, this live show, talking about quarterback starts, okay, and how crucial it is. And I know Drake May hasn't had he's had a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big if, because there's a lot of hubbub of like teams not loving Drake May, blah blah blah. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Tony Pauline had put it out there, so I tend to believe that some of it is true, right? Yeah. If he, at any type of way, starts to slip, I think everyone thinks that Minnie wants to go up for JJ. I think Minnie actually potentially want to go up for Drake May.
I'm on the same boat. I think all this JJ stuff with them is smoke, and they really want
Yeah.
Bane.
I
He's elite across the middle.
he is. He is.
He's elite across the middle.
But for whatever reason, if he were to slip to like 5 or 6, that I would love this team to show me that they have some gumption. Show me you got gumption. Because that move from 14 to 5 or 6 is not going to cost you astronomically as much as going to 1, 2, 3,
3.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
So 5, 6, you could probably get away with 14 next year's first and either
1.
this year's second or next year's second, and you
I
could
would
probably
want
move up
next
to
year's
5.
second.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to get. I would want to give away next year's second.
Who's at 6?
Either the Chargers. I think Chargers are at 5.
No,
Giants
Chargers
are
are
6, or
Chargers.
vice versa.
No, Charger at 5. Yeah, it would be the Giants. Who
It's the Giants.
who was a team you would want to leap ahead of? So you would want to get to 5.
Yeah.
That's like, show me you got gumption, please.
Yeah, people believe the Giants gonna take a quarterback.
I think they believe they'll
scuttlebutt.
take one if one that they like falls to them.
I don't know if I buy it.
It would be hard to.
Just the way
So
they
they
operate.
need
bro.
weapons. They need weapons. Like they
Like,
needed
The
weapons.
world,
for so
the
long.
world is screaming. Like the world is screaming. Daniel Jones sucks, but like in their building,
Just
they
like the
just
Saints,
don't
bro.
buy that. They're like the
Yeah.
Saints. They're like,
Just like
we
the Saints.
believe in Daniel Jones.
Yep.
So I don't know. And if Drake May get past the Giants, come on, man. Saints
Make the
gotta
call,
move.
bro. Because
So
let me read these teams. Okay, so we got Chargers at 5, Giants at 6, Tennessee at 7, which would be interesting to see. Like they drafted Will Levis in the second round last year.
Nah, they gonna get something else.
In Atlanta at 8, and they just signed Kurt. And as shrewd as it would be, like that would be shrewd as fuck. Like that would be super shrewd. I don't see them doing that. But that would be potentially franchise changing if the Saints had that gumption to go up and get their guy. And you have Derek Carr, so Drake May, even though he's the most ready, he wouldn't have to start. He could sit. Maybe down the later in the season, Derek Carr gets banged up, he gets his injuries, he gets a start, or he may get a half, he gets a start. That is how you can slowly work in a rookie quarterback potential.
100%.
It would be so smart, so intelligent. It would be
Absolutely
one of the best moves. Oh man, it would just change everything. It would change everything, bro.
And I feel like I've underrated him. It will be. I feel like I've underrated him as a player. I went back and watched like a couple of games of this past season because I know people was like he didn't look that great because he lost a lot of NFL talent the season before. Yeah. Man, I watched 2 games and I was like, this dude, he's a dude, bro. Like he's a dude.
I haven't watched any of them. So
the only issue that I really say that he has is he's a victim of the dude of having to play superhero ball. And you watch some of his like processing from or not processing, but just some of his mechanics from last year to this year degrade a little bit. And I do feel like a lot of that is that due to pressing and the fact that he lost talent. When your offensive line sucks, you press. When your wide receivers suck, you press. Tez Walker didn't show up till halfway through the season due to the NCAA bullshit. So like your number 1 receiver, you didn't get till halfway through the season. So you can explain away a lot of the stuff that went on with Drake.
I keep saying like he is what people wanted Mitchell Trubisky to actually be. Like whatever people said Mitch was, like to me, Drake May is that.
Yeah, I mean he got some scoots.
IMO.
He got some scoots. He's accurate.
He does.
I think he's better. He's better over the middle than I think than Trubisky ever was. But I feel like a lot of the same thing with these QBs. I feel like a lot of them they're still. I mean, he's again 26 to 28 collegiate starts. The dude just needs time. Like if I feel like
Nate Tice has him as his number 1 quarterback.
QB?
He likes Caleb. Yeah, he loves Caleb too, but he has them like Drake May and Caleb kind of like right there together.
May a dude, bro.
Okay.
May a dude. Adam says, hell, even a mid-round flyer on Sam Hartman or Jordan Travis. Just show that
I like Hartman.
You're trying to keep your options open. You can't say that you're in the quarterback, business or quarterback development business and like just stop developing. Like you got to keep shooting your shot, bro. Got to. You got to.
Got to. And then Penix.
What about Bo Nix? Because it seems like the shine on Bo Nix is falling a little bit.
I mean, so the scuttlebutt seems to be that because of the 61 starts, he's probably closer to what he's gonna be than has room to develop. Could he be above the Dalton line? Yeah, I think so.
That's high. And I like Bo Nix, man. I like him
I'm
probably more.
Not out the gate. I don't think out the gate. He's not. He's another dude that I feel like either that or he's gonna be Kenny Pickett, and I never cared for Kenny Pickett. So
that's my bad. That's on me. Put that on me.
Baby hands.
I had to reassess myself from that Kenny Pickett draft because Bucky he tweeted something that I was like, yeah, that's true. He said we got to stop grading these quarterbacks on a curve year to year and look at them, on a larger scale.
And
I think that's what my mind was. I was looking at that draft and I'm like, man, Kenny Pickett a dog. You know what I'm saying? In this draft, on that curve.
Absolutely.
But I failed you, Anakin. I failed you.
And I also feel like what you're talking about right there is a part of why we're hearing right now that people are down on next year's class. Because if any of those guys were to come out this year, Aller, if he was available, if Shedeur had come out, they're getting drafted behind JD, May, JJ for sure. So do you really, if you weren't willing to take this guy in round one in this year's class, just because he's going to be elevated to round one next year, are you willing to be in on it? It don't seem like it's going that way.
This is the wild card of the draft to me. I just talked about Drake May trading up for him. Like the Penix discussion, the Penix debate is so interesting to me. It is so interesting.
So Chris Sims, for all his flaws, he knows ball a little bit. Hey, I listen to everybody. It's how I stay unbiased. He's had Penix as his QB too since deep, and he only recently moved JD above him, so that he's got Caleb, JD, Penix.
I get it.
May, JJ.
I get it.
I get it. I mean, usually it's a dude.
Chris Sims has a type. Chris Sims has a type to it, and Penix.
Yes, he does.
Penix meets that type.
To
he likes tall, big arm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure
if you love arm strength, if you like arm strength, Penix is just that dude, bro. He's that dude, man. And to me, like when you boil down quarterback, you got to be able to throw the ball effectively, and like that's what he does. And I feel like if you start there, you got a lot to work with. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about second reaction plays, movement, and all that stuff. But if you could hum that ball, when I saw him throw that ball, bro, you got things you could do. Now, where you take them, I don't know. But I would feel comfortable. I would feel comfortable taking him at 14.
Easy.
I know. Like, I'm saying I would. But like,
so
I know teams saying like late first, early second, baby. I don't know.
So my reaction isn't necessarily based on where I think he's worth. I feel like we're one of the teams that aren't in position to just go get a QB because we don't have the stuff to surround him. You feel me? Like we need talent. Nah. I mean that line. I think that line needs help, bro.
It does. I mean, it does need help, but also I think it's hard to truly evaluate the line without factoring in the Derek Carr into.
That's true. That's very true.
And then also a pick like that would not be like for this year. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, fuck. If we are agreeing to the fact that the year is just going to be bad, and they're willing to give Penix the solid 3 years that he needs, that means 3 more years of DA. But if they're gonna grab him and give him time to develop, absolutely. I feel like Penix suffers from the same shit that Tua suffers from, in that he's lefty, and we're not used to watching it. We're not used to breaking down left-handed QBs, so it looks weird. So I remember seeing it on Twitter. Someone did the Lamar versus Tua game, and they inverted the film so you could see Tua throwing as a right-handed QB, and I was like, God damn! There it is.
Tenet
like,
shit is this, man?
Shit.
That Christopher Nolan?
You actually-
Man,
Let me
all
see.
22?
I'll send y'all the clip when I find it. But it was very interesting. And then suddenly you're looking at Lamar as a left-handed QB, and it all like his game suddenly looked horrific.
Interesting.
So I do think if that plays into it, because not how many left-handed QBs do you watch every year in the pros? None.
And it's funny you bring that up because I'm trying to think how many have been drafted like high. Was Matt Leonard left? I want to say he was left.
Yeah, Liner.
Why do I remember that? Oh my God, I'm a big sicko, bro. Vic was
Vic. But how many? And I think if you're going back to like the greats, but they're the greats, so I generally leave them out of the equation.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of successful lefties coming in.
I feel like there's a bias against them.
Oh yeah, and you have to flip your whole offense, especially like if you're coaching. You built your whole offense to the strengths of this, and this. I have the pass blocker on this side. You got to and if you're not in position to rebuild it, or if you have a dude on your left hand side, he's a great technician. He's not, he can't handle what he's going to have to handle to protect the blind side. It's not good.
One last question before you wrap up. What, if anything, would picking a quarterback tell us about DA's job security? Does Mickey even have the nuts to draft a quarterback if DA is adamant about another player or just not drafting the QB in the first round? That's a great question. I think one of the things that is a huge thing for this team is who is making those draft picks. Because I've been told recently, like in confidence, that the person that's making the final decision, who's the pick for the Saints, is Mickey Loomis. So I don't know if he's ignoring what the scouts are saying on some of the picks. I think that I feel very confident that happened last year in the second round with Brian Branch. In the second round, and they went for need over BPA, where we were just talking about BPA, right? I don't think, for whatever reason, if they drafted a quarterback in the first round, I don't think it buys DA anything. I don't, because I think this situation may be kind of similar to how DA's situation was with his last season with the Raiders. He drafted Khalil Mack, he drafted Derek Carr in the second round. Thought, people thought that was going to get, and then he started the season like 0-4 or 0-5 or some shit, and he was gone. I don't know if that would happen with the Saints, but I don't think that if they just drafted the quarterback in the first round that it buys DA anything, because his record is still what his record is. Like,
that's facts.
Which is ass.
My only, again, my concern, and they talked. We should drop a link to this Bucky and Jeremiah video. They talked about how all these QBs that are experiencing scheme changes year after year. Same thing we saw with Alex Smith. He had a new fucking
great point.
Him and Jason Campbell had new offensive coordinators every 2 years, if not every single year of their career, and that makes a big difference. So, if let's say we go and we get any rookie QB,
right?
If they end up cleaning house and Clint is gone and it's a new system,
like start over again.
There he is. So does your new coach like the QB? Does he fit the system? All that other stuff. Plus, you got a new QB and a young QB learning a brand new system, along with a vet learning a brand new system. Can't teach him and show him the ropes. There's just a lot of for me. I want, and I'm adamant about this. I'll continue scouting these QBs relentlessly until we have one, and then I can stop paying attention to them.
This is why I tend to lean towards coaches that come from like an offensive standpoint, or if they are a defensive coach, they're the type of coach like a Bill Belichick or somebody, or that has that kind of global view to understand all of football and has like a philosophy that they want to build. So no matter who you bring in on to coach the offense or defense or whatever, that philosophy is there. Like the Ravens, their defense, there's a philosophical thing they want with their defense. So I don't care what 100%. Coach they bring in. The Ravens, like the scheme might be a little different, whatever, but they're gonna have a tough nose tackle. They're gonna be good against the run. They're gonna have linebackers that fly around and hit, and they're gonna be strong in the back end. Period. And you got to have that organizational philosophy built in, and it's right now the Saints really don't have that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's all over the place, bro. All over the place, and that's how darkness starts, bro. And like it's the same thing with Caleb. I don't really care about the Bears, but I'm just saying, like, for him, he comes in and say he's a rookie, so say they don't not that successful, then boom, they get rid of what's the head coach name? I always forget.
Matt Eberflus.
LaFleur,
Oh,
to
yeah.
get rid of
Oh,
No,
LaFleur.
Trestman
not
is way
the
back.
guy who looks
Jesus
like.
Christ.
That's not the guy who looks like he's like on an SVU special, bro. That's how Mark Trestman always look, bro. Like he got arrested, like Olivia just grilling him in an interrogation room, bro.
But yeah, they're gonna get rid of
Wild.
him. Then bring in a new head coach with a new
Yeah.
offensive philosophy. Then
Yeah.
Caleb Gardner, and they just went through that with
Justin
Justin Fields. Just went through
Exactly.
the same thing. And before that, they went through that with Mitch Trubisky. So it's like it's a constant loop. You know that
Yeah,
you
man.
got to stop it at some point, man.
Yeah.
I do like the moves that they made, though. Like
I
going
do.
and getting all the weapons that they've got for him.
Oh,
Boy,
yeah.
Caleb is ready to come in and
He ready, bro.
eat.
Ready, man. Anyway, we went like an hour and 11.
Rolling, man.
But it was a great conversation. We got like 95 views just on the stream. We got up to I believe like 39 or 40 concurrent views. Right now we're at 34, which is still high, which is great. Thank y'all so much tremendously. Want to give love to our dude London. Just a huge supporter of ours and what you did at the last meetup with the jerseys for like the OG people. Just truly
Thank you so much, man. That
special.
put a smile on my face right there.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
Special. Oh, we didn't even talk about Ryan getting signed to what the Chargers, the Ram. I don't even know where you signed, bro.
Yeah, that means dinner's on you next time we all together.
Yeah.
I know you just got that.
But thank y'all for joining us on the stream on a Sunday night.
Before we go, we had Patrick Claiborne on the pod from NFL Network.
Yes,
if
sir.
you want to go to the Patreon, become a Patreon, download it. It's going to be available to everybody else soon. But if you want to go check it out now, go to the Patreon, sign up. It's an awesome episode. If you know Patrick Claiborne, you know Patrick Claiborne gonna bring the realest. So awesome episode.
I just want to take a second to say thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate you guys.
Sure.
And that's it for me. Appreciate it. Much love.
Much love to you, man. We will be back this upcoming week talking about what maybe we should do the mock draft simulator. I think it's almost that time. We could do that, play it around a little bit.
It's that time.
But we'll be back this week talking draft, talking Saints. Maybe there's something to talk about. Who knows? But thank y'all so much. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. With that, we're out.
Peace.